Howdy everyone, Dead here. Welcome back to this week's TWAB breakdown. This one's full of Void 3.0, how legendary missions will work, and some more exotic armor pieces for our classes. Let's go. First off, Bungie talks about Void 3.0 aspects and fragments. Starting off, Titans. War Dawn can be popped pretty much instantly now, and it's also being brought up in the tier list of supers, meaning you'll be able to get this much faster than what you can now. Bungie says it'll make the bubble a much more powerful defensive tool. Sentinel shields will still let Titans harness their inner Captain America, with thrown shields providing range damage as a shield bash grants full overshields. Titan aspects include the controlled demolition, bastion, and defensive bulwark. Next up, Hunters. Hunters will be the epitome of stealth, now with even more control over what their enemies see or don't see. Mobius Quiver changes will fire off a volley of 3 arrows that can track targets and make them volatile when tethered. Deadfall will see the Void Anchors pull in enemies to a desired location from surface to target impact. Snare Bomb Melee will also do more to weaken opponents, particularly in PvP, when it removes an enemy player's HUD and obstructs their in-game view. Hunter aspects include Trapper's Ambush, Vanishing Step, and Stylus Executioner. And finally, Warlocks. Float like a warlock, sting like a bee. The Nova Warp Super with the Vortex Super enhancement allows players to teleport efficiently to unleash an ultimate void attack while drawing enemies in and trapping them within a web of damage. Nova Bomb with the Cataclysm enhancement allows for more control when warlocks are on the hunt for enemies to take out, particularly in PvP instances. And detonations will disperse into smaller tracking projectiles. Shoot the Nova Bomb and it will also detonate early. Warlock aspects include Chaos Accelerant, Feed the Void, and Child of the Old Gods. Now some of you may be asking, what about the New Light players? Are they just going to get this off the gate, or will they have to earn these? Well, Bungie answers that. For New Light players, they'll be able to earn their first aspects and fragments during the New Light campaign. And during the Schism mission, players will acquire a new quest called Learning Light that teaches them more about their subclass abilities. More aspects and fragments can be unlocked by visiting Ikor Ray in the tower. All classes will now start with Void subclass abilities intended to be more friendly and appealing to new players. Moving on, Bungie talks about the legendary campaign. Starting off, Bungie talks the incentive behind actually doing this. For completing a legendary mission, you'll be able to get double chest rewards offering 1 to 3 extra chests per mission. Each chest will give you Whirlpool gear, XP, upgrade modules, and Glimmer. In addition to that, legendary players will be able to earn Throne World armor and unlocks at a faster rate. Now some of you might be asking, are there any unique rewards to actually doing this? Bungie answers that quite efficiently. Yes there is. Completing all missions on Legendary will award players with the following: a new emblem exclusive to those who complete the campaign on Legendary difficulty, a triumph required for the newest title for Throne World, a set of gear 20 above the soft cap at 1520 power level, 8 upgrade modules, the new Witch Queen exotic armor that typically is reserved to PED Lost Sector drops, and exclusive Bungie rewards. More on that in the future. Some of you may also be asking, how hard is it going to be? Bungie also answers that. Bungie says the Legendary campaign is designed to be harder than your typical Legend Nightfall, though it is easier than a solo dungeon or running a Grandmaster Nightfall. Enemies are more difficult and more aggressive. They also have higher base resistance, are more of a challenge to stagger, and shields are stronger to unmatched damage types. The challenge of Legend also comes from switching up enemy interactions and infiltrations, like swapping out an elite for a boss or having an influx of more red bar foes. Finally, you may be asking yourself, can I just completely overlevel myself to do this later? No, you cannot go ahead and overlevel these missions. Each mission will go ahead and cap your power. So say you're level 17,000. If the level for the mission is 1360, it will cap you out at 1360. And if you're under the level, Bungie says be prepared for a bit of a tough fight. In addition to that, Bungie shares how Legends will also work, saying they didn't want this to be a trivial hard encounter. If you're running with a team, Bungie wants you to work with your teammates, not to simply just run ahead and blindly into the distance and die. Speaking of dying, you'll have a 40-second timer before it's an automatic wipe. In addition to that, every player on your team will have only 1 res token in Darkness Zone encounters. Now, if that sounds a bit too difficult for you, Bungie's got you covered. You can leave these missions at any time in the typical Destiny fashion, returning the orbit, and you can come back and do these missions at any time later, but of course you'll need to complete the mission beforehand. Moving on, Bungie talks exotics. Starting off, the new Titan exotic helmet, the Lorelei Splendor Helm. This helmet's exotic perk is Cauterizing Flame. Simply put, it allows Sunspot to heal players when they have the Sun Warrior perk, and when critically wounded, this perk also ensures that a Sunspot is created on your location to give you one last fighting chance. With quick grenade and melee ability recharge, and and longer supers. Plus, more damage. Moving on, next up, we have the Titan chest piece, Hoarfrost Z. We've seen this quite a bit. This exotic turns your rally barricade into a towering stasis wall. And additionally, these crystals will slow any target that get too close, while also boosting the players and the fire team's weapons reload speed, stability, and range. Next, we talk Warlock exotics. First up, the second filament armor, and this exotic perk is the Devouring Rift. Simply put, when you slap down your Empowering Rift, you'll also get the perk Devour, and the Devour perk is very simple. You'll get a small amount of grenade energy and all your health back per kill. Next up, we have the Osmancy Gauntlets, and the exotic perk is the Fervid Cold Snap. Simply put, your Cold Snap grenades will recharge faster, get an additional charge, and they'll travel much further. Moving on to Hunter exotics. First up, the Blight Ranger Helm, and its exotic perk, Voltaic Mirror perk. Simply put, when you're using your arc staff, specifically the one to reflect attacks back to its sender, not only will this do increased damage back to its sender, you'll also be spawning orbs from these kills. Next up, you have the Renewal Grasp, and its exotic perk is the Depths of Dustfield. This will give hunters a much larger Dustfield grenade radius, and this will not only nerf incoming damage for allies within the Dustfield's range, any targets locked within that space will also deal out a reduced amount of damage. Moving on, finishing up this TWAB, Bungie talks the Witch Queen's release schedule. So on February 21st at 7 PM Pacific Standard Time to 0300 UTC, Destiny 2 will be brought offline. And on February 21st at 9 PM 0500 UTC, the preload for hotfix 4.0.0.1 will be available to all platforms. On February 22nd at 9 AM or 1700 UTC, Destiny 2 will be brought back online, and hotfix 4.0.0.1 will be playable on all platforms and regions. And lastly, on February 22nd at 11 AM 1900 UTC, Destiny 2 maintenance is scheduled to complete. And that's it for this week at Bungie. And that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed this short little video. If you like what I do and want to see more, please like and subscribe to the channel. It inspires me to make more. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace, and have a good one. Bye.